Y'all. All
right. Here, back here at the 41st Annual Pirates Cove Billfish Tournament. We just had Gary and Mary Oliver walk by from the Outer Banks Pier and Fishing Unlimited on the Causeway and Fish Heads. Great spot in case anybody's looking for a place to go to sit out on the beach and have something to drink. Go to the tackle shop, get yourself rigged up to go fishing, or go fish off the pier. Wonderful folks, Marty. Wonderful folks.
Absolutely wonderful. I've known Gary Oliver. Gary Oliver is one of my dearest friends because he's the guy, when my mate fell off the boat and was gone for an hour and a half, that's the man right there that found him.
That's a story that we have yet to tell, I think. We're gonna save that one for another day.
One of my favorites. Actually one of my least favorites.
Yeah. Well, as always, Capt Marty's real-time reports all brought to you by ELSOBX in Manio, online at elsobx.com, and Crossway Composites on Harbor Road in Wanchese. Run through the let's run through today's events so far, Marty. What do we got? Day 2, the top boats. What do we got?
Really, we had 5 boats that had 3 fish. The release had 2 blues and a sail. The Goombay had a triple header all at one time, white marlin.
Wow.
You think about it, some people fish their whole life, never catch a white marlin. They caught 3 at one time.
3 at one.
Yeah. The Sandra D, 3 white marlin at different times during the day. The Streamweaver, a sailfish, and 2 spearfish.
Okay.
Spearfish. Yeah, I'll try to talk. The Pelican, 3 white marlin. So the standings, the overall and the overall Omni are the same. The Omni is the group of boats in this tournament that have the side scanning sonar. So the Viking 82 is 800 points to release, 700 to Pelican 650.
Okay.
For the group of boats that do not have the Omni sonar, in that group, the Sniper is in the lead with 450. By the way, the Sniper has side scanning sonar and just elected not to use it.
Okay.
And there's different strategies about that too, but part of it is who's got money in which category. Very, very complicated when you look at that list of how it's all broken down.
Right.
And then the Anio with 350 points and the All-In with 250.
All right, we had 58 boats that fished today.
Out of 84.
Out of 84, and it's like we were talking about just a few moments ago about strategy. You know, it's coming up on the bottom of the 9th here in the next couple of days, and some of those that are trailing in the standings in the tournament, they're going to be looking to maybe throw out the big guns, bring out the elephant gun, as you referred it to.
Gun, right.
Now, something I was wanting to know a little bit more about, Marty, is, you know, they got to release, if it's under a certain weight, they have to be released. There's a photographic ribbon. There's a ribbon that you can take.
Photo verification.
How does that work?
Well, for starters, let's touch with what you said. Any blue marlin under 400 pounds or 100, to qualify for score, and it has to be one of 2 things. 400 pounds or 110 inches fork length, which is what makes it legal in North Carolina state law. Well, actually in federal law. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be one of those 2 to be scoreable. So under that, all of them are released. So let's talk about the release, blue marlin. A blue marlin should be worth more points than a white or a sail. They're much bigger. They're much more difficult to catch. And a lot of these guys are using light tackle. 20-pound test line is average. Mm-hmm. 200-pound fish on 20-pound test line, that's 10 times the leader, the line strength. You know about that.
Right. Uh-huh.
So in other words, you could catch a blue marlin on speckled trout size line, you know.
Yeah.
Would be one way of putting it. All right, so they want to award you more points for blue marlin, but sometimes you get a marlin, you see its bill, you know it's a marlin, but you don't, you get it up close, you get the leader, all you have to do is touch the leader, and that's a release.
It's a release.
You cut the leader and let it go.
Right.
Well, some people, have had problems with people saying it was a little blue marlin, when in reality, it could have been a white marlin. So we had observers. You all remember we had observers on the boat for years.
I remember the observers.
You know,
I do very well remember the observers.
I was in charge of them, and that was not a fun job. So now what they do, every tournament everywhere they give you a ribbon, a different color ribbon every day. All the boats get, today the ribbon color was blue, the same color as the Billfish brief. So you get a ribbon color of blue, and then when you got a fish and it's a blue marlin, most people will tie that ribbon on the back of their baseball hat.
Okay. Or
on the gunnel of the boat. But the idea is you have to, with a timestamp, you have to get a picture or video of the marlin in action, and you have to be able to see that it's a blue marlin. And then that ribbon has to be in that picture. And if that is the case, then you come back, you let the fish go, which is a good thing.
Uh-huh.
Then you come back to the dock, you bring it to Captain Sam Stokes and Kenny Peckern over here, and they look at it. If they can verify that it's a blue marlin, then you know you get an additional 150 points. So you get that, instead of getting 100 points, which all billfish are scored, 100 points, you get 250 points because you were able to photo verify a blue marlin.
Okay.
And one of the things you look for, do you know what these guys are looking at, Justin? Do you know the difference between a blue marlin and a white marlin?
I believe it has something to do with the fin.
Yeah. You're right.
Pointed.
All of the blue marlin's fins are pointed.
Pointed, that's right.
The pectoral fins, the anal fin, the dorsal fin, all pointed. On a white marlin, all of them are rounded.
Round.
And, all right, so you got that. And then a sailfish has literally a sail.
Yes.
That's easy to tell. Do
Easy
you
to
know,
tell.
you want to tell our listeners why the flags are upside down when they come to the dock?
I always thought that in the beginning, it's because they screwed up putting them on.
Or the maid had too much to drink.
It's too much something, but I learned later on in life, courtesy of my old man, Mitchell Bateman, whom you know, that's because they released.
Right.
They released the fish back into the ocean.
Right, so it looks like it's upside down. So it used to be you had a red flag for releases, and that meant you had to have two whole sets of flags. But back at Oregon Inlet years ago, they started turning flags upside down, so you only use the same flag. And so if you're going down the dock and you're visiting Pirates Cove or Oregon Inlet or Keach's Lair Marina, for instance, and you see those flags upside down, that's because the fish was released.
All right. Well, I'm glad you gave me a little bit of a verification on the ribbon and the purpose behind it, so that way you can verify the fish. And just a good explanation on what it looks like when these flags come in upside down. And Marty, that's going to do it for us today. I appreciate you running through the standings and everything. Appreciate everything you do for the tournament because you are the voice of the Pirates Cove Billfish Tournament.
Well, thank you very much. And we'll have updates on my site tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Look forward to that. And again, I appreciate you being out here and doing everything that you do. It's the 41st annual Pirates Cove Billfish Tournament here at Pirates Cove in Mania, North Carolina. We'll be right back tomorrow. So, again, all brought to you by ELSOBX, ELSOBX.com, and Crossweight Composites on Harbor Road in Wanchese.